everybody, welcome to another episode of Exploring Photography right here on Adorama TV. I'm Mark Wallace, hanging out in my kitchen. And I'm sure you're wondering why the heck I'm in my kitchen and not a studio as I normally am. Well, the reason for that is this episode is all about lighting for social media, specifically Instagram stories and all those things that you do, whatever, that kind of stuff. And so I have several lights here that I think are really spectacular. And what I've done is I want to evaluate these on 6 criteria. And so the number 1 criteria is these lights have to be affordable. We don't want to spend a bunch of cash creating videos for Instagram. So affordable, number 1. Number 2, portable. You have to be able to take these lights everywhere. And so I would prefer if the light can run on a battery or be plugged into a wall, so there are options. Number 3, the ability to change color temperature. And so you might be working in daylight, you might be working with tungsten light or somewhere in between. And so I'm looking for lights that can change. And so you can change the color of the light. Number 4, they have to be flexible. In other words, they have to be able to use for not only selfies and all the stuff, talking into the camera, that kind of stuff we love to do, but also they have to be able to shoot things like food and products and little things that we're uploading to show people, pets, stuff like that. So flexibility is a big deal. And then also, we're shooting this stuff with our cameras. So they have to have some way to be a tripod for the camera. So a camera holder, and a bonus, it'd be even better if they could charge the camera while they're holding it. And then last, and probably most important for some people, they have to make you look amazing. And so let's take a look at these lights. Number 1, affordability. How affordable are these? Well, I have 3 different light systems here. So I've got this as a little LumiPad 11. And so it's a little square thing that's normally on a camera. You can use it for other things than just that. I have the ring light, of course, one of the favorites of Instagrammers. So this is the Nanlite Halo 16. It's a 16-inch ring light. And then I've got this crazy looking system right here. This is called the Mira 26B. It's 2 lights that you can sort of move around and put wherever you want. And so what are the price on these guys before we go into the specifics? They are all affordable. So these LumiPads here, $55 each. This is $150, a little less, 150 bucks. This whole system here, in the case and all the chargers, the whole thing is $120. So all of these check the affordable box. $120, $150, $55 as of today. So that works. They all are very portable. You can see, in fact, the ring light and this Mira 26B, this wacky thing here, it looks like rabbit ears. They come in a case that you can just tote around. These guys you can throw in a bag, so that all works. These guys you can put a battery on them and you don't have to plug them in, so that works just fine. This ring light also uses the same battery, so you can stick a battery on this guy here and turn it on, and there you go. Blammo, we have a ring light that's working off a battery. That's great. This guy does not run on a battery. So this guy you have to plug into the wall. The ability to change color temperature, all of these do that. So all of these have the ability to change color temperature. Are they flexible? Well, here's where we get into some pickiness. So these little guys right here, this is a LumiPad. This is really made for being mounted on top of a camera. Now you can put them on a light stand, like this little guy I have right here, because it's got a 1/4 thread on the bottom, but they're really made to go on a cold shoe or a hot shoe on a camera, and so it's for that. It's like, you know, what you'd see on top of a camera. Now, I love these things. In fact, I used one of these in all my videos, probably from about 2017 until maybe March of 2021, this year. So if you want to see what these look like, almost every single video I shot in the studio from those years, for about 3 years, I was illuminated with this exact light. This guy right here I'm holding in my hand did the job. So just go look at all my Adorama videos. The light on me in the video is this light. It's pretty spectacular. But we want something a little bit different than that for our Instagram videos. So I'm going to put these aside. These are fantastic, but they don't meet all 6 criteria. So I'm just going to stick these back here on my kitchen counter. Let's take a look at these other lights, because this is where they really shine, no pun intended. And that is the flexibility and how you can change how things look. This is the Halo 16. You can see that it has a battery mount, so that's very portable. But normally you would be plugging that into the wall. And so inside the case, I have this case right here, we have a few things. So we have a power cord, we have the adapter that goes to that power cord, so we can plug this in. It's pretty long, so you've got room to make this go wherever you need it to go. We have this right here, which will hold a phone, which is really cool. And then that screws on to this right here. So if I have this little guy right here, I can put it in this way, or I can put it in this way, whichever way I want it to go. That just screws in right there. And now I've got this phone holder right in the middle of my light, and I can either shoot at or photograph myself or something that I'm interested in, some kind of product. This goes on a light stand, so you can just stick this on a light stand like this, and then you can also adjust this with this little screw, so you can make this go left and right like this. So you can do top-down photography, you can do selfies, you can do whatever, and this comes with a mirror. And so this mirror also goes right on to that same little screw. So then you can look at yourself with beautiful light and do your hair and makeup and all of that kind of stuff. So previously, yesterday actually, I had a model and an influencer named Sierra Olson, and we shot a bunch of stuff. So I'm going to be showing you clips of what we did here on a little Instagram story that we made. So the second setup is the Mira 26B. So let me put this out of the way. And this system is a little bit different. So I'm going to open this up. We can see the top down. So this guy comes in this box. So it's a case that's a travel case. It all sticks down right there. I would normally have that wrapped up a little bit nicer than that, but here it is. You open the case and you can see right away it has some things that make it amazing. It comes with a light stand. And so a light stand is always going to be with you. And so that is included in the price. It has these two movable, flexible arms. And so you have two LED lights on each side. You can change the color temperature of these. These move independent like this. You can move them up and down and around and do all kinds of things. Why would you choose something that looks like, rabbit ears like this over a ring light? Well, it all has to do with the shape of the specular highlights. In other words, the shape of the highlights in people's eyes, the reflections of the lights themselves, and how that works with shiny surfaces like this very shiny kitchen cabinet or counter that I have right here. So to make that make more sense, I want to show you a demo where I shoot just a simple egg. Okay, for this demo, I have turned off the video lights here that have been illuminating me because we really want to see the effects of the lights that I'm showing you. And so these guys are lighting me right now. You can see if I turn this around, that is what is lighting me right now. So I have two eggs on this kitchen counter here, and this kitchen counter is highly reflective. So you can see lots of light bouncing off of this. This is a normal thing that you would see in an everyday life. And what we really are concerned about here is how those reflections impact our awesome Instagram stories and how these two different systems, well, they work differently for those kinds of highly reflective surfaces. So it all has to do with something called the angle of reflection, the angle of incidence. So when light comes from a light source and it hits something highly reflective, like this countertop here, it reflects back at exactly the same angle that it came in at. So if the light comes in at 25 degrees, it comes back out at 25 degrees. If it comes straight in at 0 degrees, it comes straight back at 0 degrees. And that is a big deal with a ring light, because the light and the camera are on axis. In other words, the light's always going to be reflecting straight back into the camera, and you can't really change that on this guy, but you can on this guy. So to really understand this, what I've done here is I have these two eggs. I'm going to make a video with my phone, and so what we'll do is we'll first start over here. I'm going to turn this light over here off, so we're only getting the light from our Mira 26B. And so what we'll do is I will turn on my little iPhone video, and look right away what we see when we're trying to illuminate this egg. Now this egg could be, oh, let's say, I don't know, products of some sort. Could be your delicious salad that you've made, whatever. But you can see we have these two light strips right here. Those are the reflections of the light that's illuminating the egg. Now the nice thing about this, normally what you do is you just zoom in a little bit. So that's going to help things. So I'll frame this egg a little bit closer like that. Oh, very jerky, sorry about that. So now we still have this egg. We still have these issues with these strips of light. But the cool thing about this is we can move these out. So we can move those. We can also control these independent of each other. So I can have one on, the other one a little bit lower, so we can have some side light, or I can do the opposite, have side light over there, or both of them coming on at the same time, brighten that up. So I can control things in a different way with these lights, and so it helps me with those highly reflective surfaces. So I can do all kinds of things with these little ear things, these little rabbit ears here, to control those reflections. Okay, so now that we know that, let's see what we can do with our ring light. So same thing, I'm going to turn on the ring light here. I'll move it over. I've got an egg in place. I'm going to move my phone over to this one. So now I have that in the little bracket. And then what I'll do is I'm going to lower this so it is down at a 90-degree angle, and we're looking at the egg. Okay, so we've got the egg in the frame. There we go. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do here. I'll start my video and I'll turn off this light, so it's just the light from the ring light. You can see that we can clearly see the ring light in the reflection of this. And so we could do some things. Maybe I can move this egg down. I'll zoom in so I'm at double, and so that helps me a little bit. You know, I could zoom in a little bit more, but I'm at the max zoom of my phone right now. Maybe I could lower this, but then the egg's looking a little wonky. And so that is one of the big differences. There's no way to change the angle of this light. It's always going to be on axis, so we're always going to see these reflections unless we just zoom way in, something like that. And when we do, that egg looks pretty spectacular. So if you've got something really big or not really highly reflective, this Halo 16, this ring light, is just point and shoot, and it looks amazing. But if you do happen to have some kind of highly reflective surface, you might struggle with those reflections a lot. Okay, let's turn the lights back on, and then we are going to start making an Instagram story using both of these, and I'll show you the differences and how it works in a real life situation. Yesterday, I brought in an influencer. Her name is Sierra Olson, and I asked her to create an Instagram story using these two eggs. Okay, we're gonna start with our fake story, and we need to take some pictures of Sierra and some eggs. So we're gonna show the eggs, show us frying the eggs, and then show the result. So what we wanna start with is this ring light. Now the beautiful thing about a ring light is that it's a nice shape around your phone. So the phone is being held in place right here. We can move the phone around. You can flip this around so you can see yourself. That's probably more normal, but for fun, I'm gonna be the photographer and take pictures of Sierra. Because this light is a circle and it's around the camera, it's going to give us nice, perfect illumination, very soft light on Sierra, and that is really gonna check the look amazing box. The other thing that's really cool about a ring light is what it does to the specular highlights. In other words, the catch lights in your eyes. And so if you notice, a lot of people on Instagram look amazing. Their eyes are just like, Pchow! That is this light. That's a very technical term. Pchow! That's what this is. So I'm gonna turn this on, Pchow! And then turn it over like this. I've got my phone all ready to go. I'm gonna lock this down so it doesn't spin. I'm gonna move this phone so it's just right. Are you ready? So hold those maybe at it. Yeah, there you go. So now, blammo, we have that. I can also change the color temp, and I can change the exposure, all that kind of stuff. Kachamo, I like that. Yeah, okay. Now, we have our photos of Sierra using the ring light. Next, let's try that same thing using our Mira. Okay, so this is a really groovy lighting setup. I'm gonna put this on the right way so I can see this. Again, same kind of deal. You can take pictures of yourself. You can have somebody else do that for you. And just to keep things consistent, I'm going to be taking pictures with my little iPhone here. So I've got it in the adapter. And so what we're going to do is the same exact thing. So take about a half a step back. There you go, like that. Excellent. Okay, I like this. We're getting very, very similar light. Get this set exactly where we want it. Okay, egg time. Hold those guys up like that. Perfect. I gotta change my angle just a little bit. Perfect. That is fantastic. Now the thing with this is you can turn one light on or off, so you can do these independent of each other. So if you want to, let's do that one more time, but I'm gonna move this over a little bit, something like that. So now we have a little bit more directional light. Bammo, just like that. And then I will do the opposite. So I'll do that, move that up, and bammo. Okay, so let's compare the ring light to the Mira. And the Mira straight up and the Mira with the side light. You can see that we're getting different lighting effects with different light setups. It's up to you to decide which one that you like best. I think that the awesome, make you look great shots are from the ring light, but I don't know, it's a close call. I really like the Mira. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start shooting the eggs being cooked up and show you how these work as product or food lighting setups. It's a very straightforward Instagram story that you would see using a template of some sort with the steps involved, and they look pretty good. So after we spent the day or the afternoon shooting the eggs and cooking some stuff and actually eating some yummy eggs and fruit, we compared notes and we both agreed that the differences really between these two were very minor. We both agreed, so Sierra's not here today, I'm sorry about that, but we both agreed that the ring light was the easiest to use and the most consistent for fantastic shots. Yes, there were some issues with reflections on countertops and highly reflective things like the stainless steel stove, but just zooming in a little bit, we were able to get rid of those reflections or shooting larger things or getting away from those reflective surfaces. And when it comes to making you look amazing every time, the Halo 16 won that hands down. So a ring light is always going to make whoever is shooting into it, selfies or portraits or tutorials or whatever, it's just going to be a winner every time. It's point and shoot. So if you're not sure and you want something that just works every time for just about anything, well, the ring light is the choice. Except we did notice that with the Mira 26B, because we could move these things around, when we were shooting the eggs, the plate of eggs specifically, we were able to move these in ways that made the light look more contrasty, maybe more like light coming in from a window in the morning. And we were able to control those highlights and the shadows and put some form by lighting things independently from the side and control those reflections because we could move these around. And so it seemed to work pretty darn well. So it was a tough choice. And so this is pretty great. So I'm like, which one would I get? Well, I'll tell you what I did. these are so affordable, I got both of them, and so I can use the right tool for the right situation. And so if I really need to control things, I've got the Mira 26B. If I just want to have something that works right out of the box every single time, then I've got the Halo 16, and so I have these two different things. Another thing I should mention that these both do differently that isn't really about Instagram stories, but it's a consideration if you're trying to figure out which one of these that you should use. Well, this guy has a mirror built in, and so if you need to do your hair or makeup or have a model, have something to look into, this really is a fantastic light for that, and it works really, really well. The Mira 26B is the same thing. It's great for doing products and time lapse and all those kinds of things. But the other thing this does is it's made for makeup artists to put to the side of their subject. And so they're illuminating their subject, but they can work through here and they don't have to work through a tiny little hole. So this is a light that's made specifically for makeup artists to use in a studio to make sure they can check last looks and get everything right. So if you're a makeup artist, then the 26B is probably the light for you. But both of these are fantastic. Both of them work great. I hope this side-by-side comparison helped you decide what works best for you, and you get some inspiration and some ideas for your next Instagram video. Can we please stop doing that already? Are we? I'm tired of it. Anyway, I hope this helps you out with all of that. I hope this video was great and you enjoyed it. Please click that like button and also subscribe to Adorama TV. We've got creators uploading stuff every single day. You need to click on the bell so you get notifications of all the groovy stuff coming to you. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you again next time.